Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and this is a video that I did not expect to necessarily be making, ladies and gentlemen. Because the question of the day is YouTube protecting EDP445? Honestly, I'm surprised that EDP445 is a topic that comes out of my mouth that much, but it just seems like everything associated with this guy is all kinds of messed up. Now, obviously, you might remember a video a couple days ago. A video that you can't watch anymore because I've actually deleted it about an hour before filming this, of EDP getting caught in another sting operation. Now, I'm not going to show you any screen cap from this video either. I'm not going to show you a video. In fact, the only channel that I know that currently hosts this is Charlie's or Penguin Zero Moist Critical. And the reason for that is everyone's been getting fucking striked, buckos. Everyone's been getting the old community finger up the anus guideline strike. Now, if I do get a guideline strike for a deleted video now, that would be hilarious. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I would not be surprised. Now, to understand why one of the first targets to this, the first martyrs to the situation, is a YouTuber known as Rev Says Desu. Now, Rev covers content, in regards to VTuber stuff, anime news, so on and so forth. So he uploaded a video talking about EDP, like a lot of people on the internet, and he got the harassment and cyberbullying policy strike, okay? They even gave him a juicy timestamp at 11:16 and said, upon review, we've determined that your content violates our guideline, and we've removed it from YouTube. So to understand, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you get a community guideline strike, it's kind of like a copyright strike. You get 3, you're out of the entire platform. Technically 4, because one of them is a warning. Once you get your channel removed, it's all over, okay? You're never back on YouTube. It's donezo. So for us, for people who make content on YouTube, content that sometimes is critical of other people, we basically burn in the community guidelines into our brain, okay? It's like that fucking SpongeBob episode when he's like, when he's like the waiter at Squidward's like a fake 5-star restaurant. Yeah, we're like that. Sometimes I don't even know my name and blood type, but I know exactly what line 400 of the YouTube community content guidelines say, okay? It's like burned into my head like priests have the Bible burned in, okay? It's wild. So immediately people started to wonder why. Like, was there a joke that he said in this video that was maybe above and beyond? I made a joke in the previous video where basically in the sting operation, EDP was walking out of a dialysis center, and it basically appeared that, he might have problems with his kidneys, but he doesn't have a problem with the kid on their knees, okay? Maybe I thought that joke might have been too far. Usually I remove a lot of jokes like that just because, sometimes they're a little too NSFW. I kept that one in, and I kind of realized based on how I was treated and how I wasn't struck down, maybe there might have been something different. Maybe the YouTube bot didn't pick my video up. There must have been something, because it wasn't just Rev that got taken down. It was another big channel like Turkey Tom. Now, Tom, who's been on our podcast, Turkey Tom, fairly popular channel that covers, interesting internet rabbit holes as well, also got hit with a community guideline strike, got rejected. Now, basically, a bunch of these channels got taken down, so going back to Rev, he was actually told exactly why his video was taken down, and YouTube basically doubled down on this situation. So read this one. Hi Rev, thanks for your patience while our team looked into this. After further review of the content, our team has confirmed that the strike on video, that's an ID for a video, so, just that's what YouTube refers it as, will be upheld in line with our harassment and cyberbullying policy. Specifically, the video includes content that depicts a staged meetup that is used to accuse an identifiable individual of egregious misconduct with a minor without the presence of law enforcement at timestamp 204 803 respectively. So this is a policy update that pretty much just got included. In fact, if you go to the YouTube harassment and cyberbullying policy, which is kind of like a weird, vague policy in a lot of ways, not so vague, we'll actually read through a bit of it, where I feel like this kind of can be a catch-all term. Sometimes people who criticize others may be caught in the harassment and cyberbullying guidelines. There's a lot of videos that I made covering influencer scams and influencers like basically taking advantage of their fans, breaking the law, I wonder if YouTube would ever take those videos down as part of the harassment cyberbullying guidelines. I hope not, and the reason I hope not is because I stay a football field away from breaking these community guidelines ever. That's why you'll never hear me crack a fat joke or something on an intrinsic, like some intrinsic attribute that somebody, can't control, or it's a part of their body, or it's how they look. We'll actually go exactly what it is, okay? If you're posting content, don't post content to YouTube that fits any of the descriptions noted below. So content that contains prolonged insults or slurs based on somebody's intrinsic attributes. And that includes protected group status, physical attributes, or their status as, an assault survivor. So if you actually look at what the protected groups are in this situation, it's part of their hate speech policy. And basically the protected groups are age, caste, disability, ethnicity, gender identity and expression, nationality, race, immigration status, religion, sex, gender, orientation, victims of a major violent event, and their veteran status, okay? So as long as you don't make any jokes or any harmful remarks in regards to these situations, so you can't be ageist, okay? You can't bully somebody for being too old. You obviously can't make fun of somebody's disability, all right, visible or invisible, and you definitely cannot make fun of somebody's veteran status. That's just downright disgusting. So again, these are hate speech policies that YouTube has pointed out, so as long as you don't make any of those like prolonged insults or slurs, you should be fine. Content uploaded with the intent to shame, deceive, or insult a minor. So you actually cannot just bully somebody under the age of 18. Just specifically, you can't upload content directly there, okay? And that includes pretty much anything: videos, video descriptions, comments, live streams, or any other products. Now, of course, they have exceptions. So, for instance, debates related to high-profile officials or leaders. We can confirm through our scientists at Some Ordinary Labs that EDP is definitely not a high-profile official or a fucking leader at all. Scripted performances. So basically, if you run like a Darman video, yeah, I guess you're allowed to have a scripted performance, right? Harassment, education, or awareness. So this video right now falls in the exceptions. I'm teaching you. I'm educating you, all right? I'm not harassing anybody. I'm just telling you things you should not do, okay? I'm falling in the exception. So, of course, when it comes to other situations, in rare cases, if you make content that repeatedly encourages abusive audience behavior, so again, if your content literally exists to just rile up harassment, you're going to get banned. Repeatedly targets, insults, and abuses unidentifiable individuals based on their intrinsic attributes across several uploads. So if you have 20 episodes in a row making fun of somebody's weight or like their age or whatever, yeah, you're probably going to get banned. Exposing an individual to risks of physical harm based on the local, social, or political context. So if you do put somebody's life in danger, which again, I want to know exactly what the line is in regards to, if I criticize somebody for a heinous, action, does that put their life in danger? It probably could, it probably wouldn't. Creates content that harms the YouTube community, so you can't incite hostility between two creators. That's just not okay. So again, they give you some examples over here, but that's pretty much what the harassment and cyberbullying guidelines are, okay? So you're free to criticize people, you just can't harass them based on their intrinsic attributes, which the reason I went through this whole spiel is every single video that EDP, every single video critical of him was not going into those intrinsic attributes. If you made a joke regarding EDP's weight, you probably did fall under the harassment cyberbullying guidelines. And even in that case, I think that might be a bit too far, but nobody that I saw made a video like that or was critical in that way. So this goes back to like Rev's initial point where YouTube told him, hey, don't cover sting operations unless you have like a police officer present. Now, this leads us to the final piece of the puzzle is the topic of sting operations, okay? Now, what happened to EDP twice in this case, allegedly, is something that is not new on YouTube. Sting operations have been going on for a long time, okay? You've got Chris Hansen's official video series on the platform. You've got people like Skeet Hansen, for instance, who is probably one of the best people when it comes to actually, uncovering disgusting individuals. Skeeter Gene does do long, documented sting operations. And the reason why Skeeter Gene is allowed on the platform is if you watch these videos, there are actually badged, identifiable police officers in part of these operations. Now, a couple of years ago, there was actually a situation where a PlayStation vice president, not VP, but like an executive at the company, was allegedly caught in a sting operation run by a channel called People vs. Preds. Now, I actually watched this video a while back, and it wasn't really professional to the same level of Chris Hansen or Skeeter Jean or really any of these people. This was a video that was, one guy ran up to somebody's front door, started screaming at them and, calling them a predator. Now, of course, in that situation, there was no police officer that was there at the time in the video, nor did any of us have any idea about an active police investigation. So again, I'm sure YouTube is doing this to stop people doing these like unauthorized stings, potentially opening up a huge defamation issue on the platform. I have to imagine there's a reason YouTube has done this to legally protect themselves, okay? Now, Gideon, all right, God bless him, man right here, confirms the reason everyone's getting strikes is because they didn't show law enforcement in a teaser clip. So basically the 8 seconds we all watched together. Even though cops came. He confirmed cops came. And he, in fact, has the case number. If you cover the case, don't show the clip. We don't want anyone else getting striked. So, again, Gideon confirms the cops are there. There is a case number. So, obviously, EDP is going to have some bad things happen to him, legally speaking. Now, even another individual that I covered, Josiah Mizukami, this was a sting operation that I looked at, done by the people, or at least one of the persons that was behind the original EDP sting. Because, if you look at this thumbnail, Hawaii police is actually on this person right here. The cops were involved. I believe the district attorney was actually involved in the situation. And this was a predator sting done right. So again, I think what YouTube is just saying is we're not against predator content, but we just want law enforcement put in. However, I think for people who are just critiquing Gideon's initial video, I don't think that they actually deserve the strike, especially considering that even if you go to the harassment cyberbullying guidelines, like if I look up the idea of sting operations in their guidelines, it doesn't even show up. So YouTube, I find it so weird that strikes can happen, even if the actual rule that you are violating is not visibly available in this entire in this terms of service guideline sheet. That's super baffling to me. So again, I don't think YouTube is out there necessarily to protect people like EDP. I think they're just initiating a new rule change, one that we can absolutely work around, but one that YouTube should have absolutely notified people of before they started striking channels. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's a weird situation, wild stuff. But yeah, I wanted to make an update on it because genuinely when stuff like this happens, bad policy changes on the platform, I like to speak out about it. Hopefully YouTube does something. I hope that YouTube will do something about the channels already affected. But ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and I guess silver lining out of this is, people like EDP, individuals like him who, if the cops determine they have committed a crime, should absolutely do the time. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and yeah. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.